to another video. Grace and I are literally just about to feed our lambs, and we thought it would be really good to show you how we do it and have a little bit of a chat about something that's happened recently. This is lamb milk, it's called lamb lac, the one that we use, and you literally make up a paste using the powder in the bottom of the jug, and then a set amount of water is added to it, and that is the milk for the lambs. So at the moment, the lambs are on 3 feeds a day, but it's not as straightforward as that. So we're going to go out and start feeding them and explain it all. The lambs always know when it's feeding time, and they start shouting ahead of time as if on cue. So Grace normally feeds the lambs morning when she gets in from school and on a night, and we're going to do it together today just so we can have a catch up, because there's a few things happened since we did the last smallholding tour, and I'm just about to do another one, but I wanted to give a specific update for the lambs just before we get into that smallholding video.
What are you doing? Come here. Maggie. Maggie.
So you may notice that this black faced lamb is a different colour to the lamb that we had in the smallholding tour that we did back at the beginning of April. Now, we unfortunately lost one of our lambs that we got at the beginning of April when we brought the 2 orphan lambs in. Grace has finished feeding those lambs now, and I'm just keeping an eye on that cockerel, make sure he doesn't chase me. So Herschel was the white-faced lamb that we had, if you saw the video where we brought them in, or on Instagram or whatever it was. And he unfortunately just one day was found very poorly, very ill, and didn't recover. He showed no signs of illness, and we literally went out. Stephen said, that lamb doesn't look like he's moving, and we went over to him and he was already too far gone. We rang the vets, and I dashed down and picked up, sorry, that's not true. I rang the vets and we were on our way to take him, and he passed away in the car on the way to get help. So spoke to the vet again and went through what it could or couldn't have been. And there's only certain ways that you can tell what a lamb's passed away from, and we weren't going to go through some of those more intrusive ways. And we've buried him in the vegetable plot next to a lamb that we've lost previously as well. Now, unfortunately, it is quite common to lose lambs to different things. When we first moved into the smallholding, we were told that by an old farmer who's been there and done it for many, many years, and he turned around and he said, one thing you can guarantee a sheep likes to do is drop down dead, which shocked us at the time, but we've noticed can ring true, thankfully not too often. So Glenn here is one of the originals, or the original lamb that we brought home along with Herschel. Just in case you're wondering, the names are taken from The Walking Dead. My daughter absolutely loves The Walking Dead, and that's where these are named from. Maybe we should pick a series where things don't end up passing away on the series, and he's got a better chance. And this gorgeous little thing here is Maggie. Now, Maggie came in to replace the companionship that Herschel offered to Glenn. Glenn is a few weeks older than Maggie, and both Glenn and Herschel were the same age. We did look for a lamb from friends of ours that would be about the same age as Glenn, and unfortunately we couldn't find one of exactly the same age, but to be honest, that's not a big deal at all. It just means that Maggie will need milk for a little bit longer than Glenn, but Glenn's not too worried about that. He'll take all the milk he can get right now. And that is what I was saying about it's not as simple as that when they're on 3 meals or 3 milks a day, because right now Glenn could probably be weaned off them, but he's still having 3 milks a day, but he's only having a really small amount. And Maggie is building hers up. She wasn't actually taking as much milk as we wanted her to when she first came here, and she's now, which is why she's got a different bottle. She's actually just got a normal baby bottle from the supermarket. She couldn't get away with the proper lamb's teat on the original bottle, so the one with the yellow, the bigger bottle that you saw there. She couldn't get away with that, so she's just starting to use that now. And she always used to cough whenever she used the lamb's teat, because I think as the same with babies, she would inhale it too quickly and it would give her almost colic-like symptoms, and she would cough quite a bit. The horse is rolling in the background. I wondered what the noise was. Can you see her in the field? It's all happening today. It's a beautiful day, mind. I'm just about to do the full Smallholding tour. So this here, she might look like a small lamb, but she's not. She's an orphan from last year. Now, that's an interesting point. Let me talk to you a little bit about the orphan lambs and why we get them. So we decided not to put our ewes in lamb this year. We're actually downsizing the ewes because we're going to be replacing next year with new stock. So the sheep that we have got one. She is up there. That is one pet lamb or sheep, because she's about 6 years old now. This is a lamb that we got last year that is sticking around as a pet. She's called Carol, if you remember her from last year, if you've been here a little while. And those two won't be going anywhere. They're literally just here as field ornaments. And the 2 lambs that we've got, including Maggie, so the black-faced one that you've just been looking at, will be going to the freezers. And we do that every year. We raise lambs every year for the freezer. We didn't put our ewes to the tup this year, which means that we didn't have any of our own lambs, which is why we have bought some in that were orphans. You will generally have twins or triplets, anything from 1 to 3 basically. So it's not unheard of for ewes to have more than that, you just being the female sheep that will have the lambs. But it's very rare for them to have more than triplets. In the time that we've had over the few years that we've been here, we've had a few sets of triplets, we've had a few sets of twins, and we've had a couple of singles as well. So we've never had anything more than that. So I'd be interested to know if anybody has, because I heard a video recently where somebody said about having quadruplets and more for sheep, but that's for a different day. So when a ewe has 3 lambs or triplets, she can't really feed them too well. So she can look after 2 because she's only got 2 teats without a problem. When triplets come along, she might not be producing enough milk, and she might actually reject one of the lambs, and there's usually a runt involved. So 2 healthier lambs and 1 that's not so strong. Nettle, the big sheep that we've got that we've just shown you, she was actually from a set of triplets and was hand raised, and you'd sometimes find that the 3rd lamb doesn't thrive as much as the other 2 and has to be raised on the bottle. You got any cheer? So yes, the triplet or any lambs that are raised on the bottle, whether it's because the mum didn't survive the birth or because she just rejected them, don't always thrive as much as lambs that are raised on the mother's milk. So we have chosen to take in the orphans this year. Hopefully they will thrive very well. They are looking fit and healthy to us, but it is unfortunate sometimes when you do lose them. So we just wanted to let you know what had happened and to show you them out in the field before we do the Smallholding tour, and you see the black-faced lamb and think, well, that wasn't there last time, and where's the other lamb gone? But they're all happy as lambs could be right now, enjoying the long grass on a hot summer's day. I'm going to leave them in peace now. I think it's about time that I went and got myself a long cold drink. So look out for the next video, which will be, there's a couple coming out. Either it'll be out now, a rhubarb video where I'm making some rhubarb stew for the winter pantry, or stewed rhubarb. Rhubarb stew doesn't sound right. Or it might be the small holding too, which should come after this, because I want to get this one out first, otherwise it wouldn't make any sense doing it. So thank you for listening. Nice and short video just to give you a little update there. I like to keep everybody abreast of what's happening. I'm going to go and enjoy a bit of this sun before it turns into rain again, which hopefully is a long time before that happens.